Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is Laughin' Games here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 SC EVO cast. So it's not just Starcraft 2, it's Starcraft 2 versus Broodwar. And starting off as the Broodwar race in this best of 3, it's gonna be Classic, the monster Protoss player. Seasoned in both Broodwar and Starcraft 2, he'll be taking on Milkicow, a Terran player who's a reasonably high level and has shown quite the prowess in this mod. So we're going to see how well he can do against a potential monster such as Classic. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this video, make sure to go ahead, first and foremost, subscribe, as this is a new channel on YouTube, posting StarCraft 2 videos daily. At least, well, it's a second channel, but it's a new channel. And it provides us the opportunity to have awesome casts like this, while awesome games. You guys let me know about how you feel about the casts in the comments down below if you like. Let me know how you feel about this mod in general, as I certainly enjoy casting it. And then, of course, yeah, click that like button if you haven't already. If we can hit 10 likes on this video, that would be amazing. That's our goal. And let's take a look at the game. We have got Classic going for a Nexus into Cybernetics core, whereas Milkicow, like a lot of players do on these 4-player maps, has gone for a command center first. Now, Classic is scouting out with a probe, just to see, funnily enough, Milkicow's SCV is going to chase Classic's down. He just looks for the natural base and doesn't actually find it. So that's actually quite important, the fact that Milkicow's SCV is going to dodge Classic's, because if Classic saw the SCV, he might be like, oh, okay, he's in the upper right, but now he'll have to wait till he scouts it out. Anyway, mainly semantics, however, scouting like that can be important. We do have the natural base done for Milkicow, as the Terran player just throws up a factory. Now, that could be a little concerning. I think we're going to need to see a bunker start right away for Milkicow, as these Dragoon openings that Protoss players have been going for are quite lethal, and going for a command center first means the tank will be late. So Milkicow sees that Dragoon building, but I think he may be testing his luck a little bit by delaying this bunker as late as he did, as Classic is running across the map with that Dragoon. The bunker is on the way, but I think Milkicow may have made a bit of a fatal error in this game. Classic knows how powerful those Dragoons are. He has got 2 more on the way behind this, and 1 Dragoon, make no mistake, it will make absolute mincemeat out of this. Milkicow, in a panic, fires up a Widowmine. However, his Marine is stepping forward, but he needs that Marine to step back, as that Dragoon will pick it off, no problem. It's patiently waiting for the bunker to complete, but the Marine's like, oh gosh, finish up as fast as possible. It does, fortunately, complete. Now, interestingly enough, though, Milkicow has actually delayed his bunker or his siege tank production so he could get out a Widowmine. He's going to burrow that. That will actually keep Classic's Dragoons back from poking until there's, say, something to suicide into that. I'm not sure. Let's actually find out together if a Widowmine one-shots a Dragoon. I don't believe it would. Yeah, 125 plus 35 shields. That is not enough to one-shot one of these Dragoons, I believe. Yeah, that's 180. Yeah, no, that math does not math. So I think in theory, as Protoss, you can tank a Widowmine shot with a Dragoon if you like. Milkicow is going for something completely unconventional here, as he just holds Classic back with the Widowmine, which is a bit of a bold play, because if Classic does sacrifice into that Widowmine, he will be vulnerable with just the bunker. Milkicow's positioning his units in the main base, not sure what he's worried about. The Widowmine will go off, hits one of the Dragoons. SCVs have to be pulled en masse, but as we know, Dragoons can actually outrange a StarCraft 2 bunker with the Marines in that. Milkicow does do a great job microing, steps forward, and then has the Cyclone move forward too to lock onto one of the Dragoons. It actually packs a decent punch, but those SCVs need to get repairing that bunker again as quickly as possible. It almost goes down, as a matter of fact. Milkicow pops out of the bunker, so this is a little bit less clean than a Terran trying to defend in this situation with just a siege tank. SCVs repairing the bunker once again. The Cyclone is very low. Milkicow having a hard time microing against this, actually loses the Cyclone, loses the bunker in one fell swoop. A siege tank is on the way out, though, and that should potentially be able to hold Classic back, but Classic steps forward, realizing he can maybe get this tank, and he knows that if he gets the tank, he can just micro against this all day long with the Dragoons' high range. The Dragoons are now kiting back. There is a battle cruiser on the way for Milkicow to be a potential counter to this, but this is not as comfortable as the Terran would have liked. A fatal flaw by not repairing the tank, the Cyclone, or the bunker in time. Looks like Classic has got more Dragoons coming across the map. However, he has been trading these out, so that does mean he's got a suspicious lack of anti-air, as Milkicow is going to try and go for a quick win. Well, as quick of a win as it takes a battle cruiser to build against this. So another Widow Mine does pop out for Milkicow that can potentially kill off one of these Dragoons, and it should be able to. Classic did send a probe across the map, but I believe that must have died or gone home during the chaos. The Protoss does have a third base on the, well, finish during this, so Classic going to have a nice economic lead. I'm sure Milkicow's macro hasn't been the best during all this chaos, but that battle cruiser is now done. Does it just yeet across the map? Let's play Find the Battle Cruiser as I keep clicking on it. Where's it going to end up? There it is, inside the main base. And now these probes are running for their lives. This Classic can't just warp in Stalkers like a StarCraft 2 Protoss to respond to this kind of thing. 6 workers have gone down, but I mean, Dragoons still pack a punch against this. Classic loses much mining time inside the main base. However, 5 Dragoons is more than enough to push away one of these battle cruisers, and that is a lot of ground to cover. This BC could actually be in a lot of trouble. Dragoons getting underneath it. One of them actually dies, but I think Classic will get it. So the battle cruiser perishes, which is just unacceptable. These Broodwar / StarCraft 2 mod maps have so much space inside the main base, and that does allow Classic to catch and kill the one thing that Milkicow really had going in this game, so that is not ideal. Classic, as always, is showing us that he's quite an oppressive Protoss player. He will put pressure on you early and then slap down your aggression, as he's been doing that for so many years now. Being a StarCraft 2 pro, but he was a Broodwar pro before that. And like any Terran, no matter the caliber, has to respect Classic. The Protoss player behind this is going into a Templar Archives, so going to have Psystorm out. Broodwar Psystorm seems pretty good. The animation is sick, as we've established before. The StarCraft 2 Terran does have a third orbital command done, another battle cruiser moving out on the map, but those beasts, if the first BC didn't get anything done, the second one absolutely isn't. Now, Classic could potentially get harassed a little bit, say if this makes it to a base and the Dragoons are out of position, but we've got a nice observer coming in. Milkicow almost gets the observer, but good reaction by Classic. And let's see here. There is, well, +1 on the way for Milkicow. 1-1 for all his bio units. The Terran has got a Ghost Academy on the way. Ghost could be very good. The battle cruiser does get caught by the Dragoons. Fortunately, it does have teleport. It will actually kill the observer, so it can't be seen and can kind of just fly to safety or hang out in safety. That's going to keep Classic's Dragoons fairly busy. Could also always potentially teleport to the main base of the Protoss and maybe get out a little bit quicker than the other one. Classic is actually going to attack these rocks, so they'll have the Zelnaga Watchtower to provide vision to potentially kill off this battle cruiser. That is a lot of work being put in. It does let us see the very cool attack animation of the Broodwar Zealot, though. The cliche sound, or not cliche, I should say classic sound. But then you might think I'm talking about the guy playing the game right now. And yeah, wow, look at this. Classic throws up 2 more Nexus, just feeling that he's got lots of money to spend, and goes for something that's going to set his economy to be virtually double at least the base count of his opponent. Dragoons are holding this battle cruiser in place. Milkicow's got a fairly formidable Terran Bioforce. The main concern will be these will be the High Templar to potentially deal with the bio. We do have Milkicow moving out with a double medivac drop. It seems Classic intercepted that, though. Did he have an observer, or was that just lucky positioning? Lucky positioning seems to be the answer. It's not surprising that Classic is sort of keeping Milkicow oppressed by being out on the map. He always maintains a presence. Looks like that battlecruiser... Oh, did the BC die, pardon me? The battlecruiser must have died. Pardon my observing for missing that. I was distracted by the medivac. Widowmine does go off on some of the Zealots. However, Classic has got plenty more where that came from. Milkicow does have ghosts on the way out, so he will have EMP against this, but Classic is actually coming forward. Look at all these Zealots, Dragoons, Zealots charging forward into the Terran base. Milkicow doesn't have all his reinforcements. He's got a decent tank line, but there's the High Templar getting unloaded out of the shuttle, ready to drop Psystorm. Will Classic Psystorm the SCV line? Maybe not, as his Dragoons are doing work, killing off that building 4th command center for Milkicow. Ghost comes forward, drops an EMP, but there is still many High Templar in this shuttle. There's one of those Psystorms going on down. Milkicow does have a drop on the other side, but this is just one of Classic's 6 bases he's hitting. The Protoss may be a little bit overextended other than these High Templar, but he's dealing massive amounts of economic damage to Milkicow. Milkicow almost grabs the shuttle, which would have been nice. However, it stays alive. The Terran stims forward once again, eats the Psystorm on that stimmed bio. Siege tank's repositioning, but Milkicow is being denied mining at his 3rd base. His natural is starting to mine out. His main is mining out. Looks like he may be able to bully Classic off his 3rd, and he maintains a decent supply, all things considered. Definitely making use of the most powerful StarCraft 2 feature. Unfortunately, as he does mistakenly unload units into the knives of those Zealots, Milkicow does try and get on top of the shuttle. He's so close to getting it. He actually does, so that is a great pickoff for the Terran player. Classic has an amazing economy behind this, though. He fires up 10 Zealots at a time. How many gateways does this guy have? 12 gateways. No Reavers yet for the Protoss, or no Reavers in this game, but the High Templar definitely can do work. Milkicow queues up another drop. He's moving out. He's going to fly right over a bunch of Zealots. That is so many Zealots. Classic has 33 Zealots, 3 Dragoons, and 5 High Templar. Now, these Medivacs are so oppressive for the Protoss. Will Classic Psystorm these Medivacs? Milkicow is really making the most of this drop potential. Nothing in the main base. As I say that, some units are repositioning, though. Milkicow's not going to get anything done with this drop since Classic saw it coming, but potential drops later on could definitely keep the Protoss tied up. The Terran is moving out on the map. He's got to be careful, though. His army supply is not as big as the Protoss. Classic has got very nice upgrades. He's got 2-2 done. The Terran has just got 1-1 finished up. Looks like Milkicow does come on in. Classic is coming with these Zealots from the top. He's going to make a Milkicow sandwich, whatever that may be, as the Terran player is just going to have to load up into his Medivacs, I think, to try and escape all these Zealots. The Terran immediately begins kiting. Zealots are chasing, though. This drop inside the main base is doing as much work. Classic produced a Corsair to help hunt down these Medivacs, so that's a very nice play. The Terran is being pushed back into his siege tank. Milkicow seems to have a decent supply, but maybe it's caught up in production or something, because there is just so much Protoss. The 2-2 upgrades really shining through on this. And oh my gosh, Milkicow loses his 3rd command center, not lifting it off. Widowmines are now burrowing for the Terran, but even if Milkicow survives this, he's going to be in a very poor economic position. And he's just been behind for so long. He's actually playing quite an incredible game when you consider how behind the Terran player has been. I mean, Classic's been on 6 bases for so long. I didn't even realize that Classic skipped this base. I do not know why that is, but anyway. Milkicow stays alive, but he is feeling forced to go for a big drop, and that is just going to be on one of the bases of Classic. Meanwhile, Milkicow has got pretty much it all on this one planetary, and he's like, oh, the army is there. I got to somehow try and defend this. He does have mass SCVs to repair this. There's a big Psystorm going down. Looks like a little bit of the bio gets on some of the High Templar, but there's so much Psystorm. The few bio units that could have potentially killed all the High Templar actually go down. Now the planetary's in trouble as Classic targets down some of the SCVs. They're repairing as well as they can. The big drop on the other side of the map is in full swing. Classic just needs to kill this planetary, and with a big Psystorm, he definitely shall. The PF is doing an okay job defending itself. This mule actually needs to repair, because there's not that many units left to try and kill this off as the big drop is going off for Milkicow. He lets the planetary die, which is unfortunate, as I think he maybe could have repaired that, but he's so busy focusing this critical drop on the other side of the map. But Corsairs are able to deal high damage to the Medivacs to potentially bring them down. And Milkicow, he's trying to kite around, but he no longer has this free lease with his units to just fly around in the airspace. He targets down the Corsairs, trying to buy his units some more airtime. But, I mean, the Terran, he lost another critical base. He's been on virtually no economy for the past couple minutes. Well, a little bit of an economy, as these Broodwar maps I don't think find out as quickly. This main is just about gone, though. It's important he establishes this third base. I honestly wouldn't mind another planetary fortress, but look at this. Classic is now going into carriers. I think that drop may have been shut down as well. Pardon me for missing that with the observing. These games are just so crazy, and there's so much to take in this mod. Milkicow is in a very rough position. He's played a good game, despite being behind all game, but it's just now classical. He's even got the bottom right building. The Protoss is on a great economy. Milkicow doesn't have that much stuff, and Classic says when you want to win a game as Protoss, build carriers, so he's doing that. Milkicow's moving out on the map. I mean, maybe he can make something happen. This base is turning into an orbital command. I think Milkicow may regret that as Classic comes on in, but not sure a PF would survive anyway, as Milkicow gets another base, but I think it's about to die as the Terran players checkmated. GG. Classic takes game number 1. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that was just game number 1, so we're going to go ahead and load on into the second match in this best of 3. It'll be Whispers of Gold, and this is something that's a little bit interesting, dare I say. Milkicow, being the loser of this match, got to pick what the next map was, or what the next matchup was, I believe. And so that means that Milkicow actually prefers to play Broodwar Terran against classic StarCraft 2 Protoss, which is interesting. Maybe having something a little bit special to cook up against his opponent. I am a big fan of the fact that he made this choice, assuming the replays are in the right order, which I assume they are. Yeah, Milkicow. He's pretty much all the games I've already cast from this cup. He's done incredibly well with the Broodwar Terran bio, and now he may be about to do it against Classic. But I'm not sure it works as well this way around, because, man oh man, StarCraft 2 Protoss has been getting all in by Terran for, like, since Legacy of the Void came out, basically. Like, it's been lots of one-base proxies. Milkicow, interestingly, throws up a gas, but then cancels it, so I'm not sure what this is about. Just wants a second depot up. That is a very bizarre decision by the Terran player. It's, of course, going to keep Classic guessing. And he just throws up a second Rax inside his main base. So Milkicow, yeah, wants to maybe psych Classic out a little bit. Knows he doesn't even need to finish this depot right away, so he can just leave it for the other SCV to build. Classic, of course, comes in with his probe, being a nuisance, though. Fortunately, this SCV has way more HP than a StarCraft 2 SCV, but bad pathing can still be bad pathing. The Rax does finish up, though. Milkicow can produce a Marine. He even brings over a full HP SCV, so not taking any chances to let Classic kill that SCV, which I do like. And yeah, let's take a look here as there is more Rax on the way for Milkicow. So just going to be playing his 3-Rax style like he's done in all the TVZs that I've cast him in so far. He's opened up with this. It's been incredibly strong, but I don't know if it works as well against StarCraft 2 Protoss as far as the timings, the damage you have to get done, that kind of thing. As StarCraft 2 Protoss, they have Chrono Boost. They tend to reach a very high probe count rather quickly as a result. So if you go for a big commitment as the Terran, you need to basically get game-ending damage done on something like a 1-base. As the Protoss, like, once they know they've held your early aggression, they'll just trounce you. But Milkicow, he is going for a 3-Rax stim play. Going to be trying that out. And, I mean, yeah, this is the sort of thing that StarCraft 2 Terrans have access to in the TvP matchup, but they don't really do it. Now, they don't have access to Medivacs, which does open up a lot more micro potential. Look at this, though. Classic making use of the latest patch, using that energy recharge on the Sentry to give it energy for a hallucination. He's going to see that Milkicow is producing lots of Terran Marines. The Protoss should be building a battery. I think there's one going up on the high ground, so realizing that he may even need to sack this natural base as the Terran comes on in. I think Milkicow fighting before he has a significant number of medics out is a mistake, because those medics are going to be everything as far as keeping these Marines alive against something like a Stalker. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. Classic does try and target down a Marine. He is now going to have to contend with the stim, but look at that. Milkicow doesn't quite have enough Marines there, so Classic, by bringing the fight to Milkicow, really seizes momentum in this match. Look at that, a medic does come forward to heal up these Terran units, and it does so quite quickly without spending too much energy, actually. So Classic will be able to micro this as long as there isn't enough Stalkers to one volley down one of these Marines, but 3 Stalkers, I believe, is enough, so that could be problematic. The medics are actually leading the charge to soak shots, which may be better as Marines do move forward, stimming. Milkicow tries to pull them back. There is a battery on the low ground for Classic, though, and look at that. The one-shotting of the Marines is massively problematic. We've got a fire bat on the way for Milkicow, but I don't think this works against Protoss like it does against Terran. The Firebat does stim forward and is charging forward. It's going to do a good job soaking damage, but we see Classic getting the kills on those units. Look at that. 4 dead Marines, 1 dead Firebat. Nothing has died for Classic. And he's just got the power to volley down everything Milkicow has. I think Milkicow may want to be considering like an SCV pull. I don't know if Broodwar Terrans really do that, but it's at that point where it's like you need to win or you are just dead, because Classic is going to be a 2-base Protoss. He's going to have Colossus against Bio that doesn't even have Medivacs to support it. I think this is the sort of situation where if you're going to do this, Milkicow needs to pull the SCVs like now, because he is not going to break through this in the next 30 seconds once a Colossus is out. So he needs to be going, but I feel like that window is closing a little bit too quickly. I mean, yeah, Milkicow, he does pull some SCVs. He's got a natural command center done during all this chaos, but this is too late. The Colossus is already done, and Classic has energy for force fields. He's got a battery. He'll just be able to kite this Bio endlessly. There's no combat shield for these Marines, so this Colossus will just swipe them to death. The medics may help out a little bit, but like there's not that much supply for the Terran. Looks like Milkicow is bringing only a portion of his SCVs as well. This is a little bit half-hearted, it seems, as in goes the Terran. Gonna try and get what he can. I mean, the Marines, they do have that extended range, so that does help out. They cut through the Stalkers fairly quickly. Classic, in a panic, has thrown up 3 more batteries. Milkicow is stepping forward, but this Colossus will not die under the presence of these batteries, I think. Milkicow is targeting down everything but the Colossus, the main damage dealer. There's now Zealots warping in for Classic to help out. Firebats should do pretty good against that, but another Colossus pops on out. And yeah, Milkicow, I think, just losing those early Marines and then really cut the legs out of this rush early on. And then after that, the fact that Classic was just, like, the fact that Milkicow didn't pull the SCVs early enough. Like, you need to hit before the Colossus is done, particularly the second Colossus. But I think if Milkicow pulls even a few more SCVs, like, he's not in a bad spot. I am curious about Classic's vision. Classic has confirmed the extra command center, so that's kind of almost an important thing with the fake out, because he absolutely would have thrown up more batteries even sooner if he had seen Milkicow was on 1 base. So the expansion was good. I think as far as a fake out goes, the SCV pull would have been good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this cast, click that like button. If you haven't already, leave that comment down below. And of course, subscribe. If you're watching to the end of these videos, but you're not a subscriber, go ahead and do that, as it, gets you daily videos. And I'm doing that for now. So thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.